Hello, everyone. My name is Bill Hincher, and I'm with our banking and financial services industry team. Today in this demo, we're going to take a look at how we can leverage UiPath's hyper-automation platform to help banks and financial services firms handle fraud calls in the contact center. Let's look at the scope of the challenges facing financial services firms today. Payments card fraud has become an ever-increasing problem with reported losses of $28 billion in 2018. That number is only expected to increase by over 30% in the next 5 years. With even more fraudulent activity taking place moving forward, contact centers are going to be required to handle a greater volume of customer calls. Additionally, now more than ever, greater scrutiny is being placed on the firm's ability to deliver a streamlined customer experience as digitally savvy customers demand more from their financial institutions. So now let's walk through how a call to a fraud call center might work today without automation. This is a scenario many of us, unfortunately, are all too familiar with. The customer, Jane, calls her bank to alert them of fraudulent activity on her account. Once connected to the agent spends valuable minutes going into multiple systems to look up Jane's account info, pulling transactions, gathering other info needed for the call. The agent then has to go back into a core banking application or clunky mainframe to find the transactions in question. Then they'll have to click through to reverse the fraud, lock the card, and reissue a new card. All these actions, again, likely done with Jane holding on the other end of the line for what can seem like an eternity. And once the call with Jane is complete, the agent still may have to update account notes or send documentation to the customer, all additional work that slows down their ability to pick up the next call. Now let's look at that scenario with UiPath automation applied. Jane calls the bank about fraudulent activity on her credit card. The IVR system captures her card number as well as her reason for the call, which is fraud. As her call is being routed to the fraud team, a UiPath robot picks up her card number and begins pulling her account info from various systems. Once the agent picks up the call, the robot presents all of Jane's information in a form created using our Forms Builder activity in UiPath Studio, which you can see on the left side of the screen. Within this form, we can see that Jane's customer info and her recent transactions are all readily displayed, as well as suggested next actions like reversing the transaction and deactivating the card, creating a new fraud case in the case manager, or adding notes to the account. This provides the agent everything they need to resolve Jane's issue right at their fingertips. From here, Jane tells the agent the purchase of $678.99 at Down Jackets was not authorized by her, so the agent can go ahead and click the button to reverse the transaction and deactivate her card. This triggers a robot to log into the core banking application. The robot then looks up Jane's account. It will search for the transaction and then automatically reverse out that charge as well as lock her account. After that's complete, the agent is returned to the form, and at this point can trigger a robot to automatically create a new fraud case in the case manager while they're wrapping up their call with Jane. Here you'll see the robot go to work, logging into our case manager, creating a new case, and adding the relevant details. One thing I want to highlight, we've chosen to run these processes sequentially for this demo, but in a real-world call center where seconds matter, multiple automations could be run at the same time, as long as one doesn't depend on the other. Again, once that's complete, the agent is returned to the form, and at this point, the agent has ended the call with Jane and now needs to update the post-call note summary, which the agent submits directly into the form and is picked up by the robot and transferred to our case that was created earlier. And that brings us to the end of our demo. Thanks for watching. For more information, please reach out to any of the names listed here or your UiPath representative.